Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another Mixed Media Mayhem recipe for you guys today. And today we are doing the ombre color half the page, texture paste, and splatters. And I will be incorporating my Kit Conspiracy Kit, which is the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Spring Garden, into this. So when I was thinking of ombre, I had this stencil work done in a rainbow ombre. For a very long time, two years, maybe 3 years. And so I really wanted to incorporate that somehow in this kit. So these are the items that I pulled out. I've got a scrap from, I believe, the second layout that I did for this week. I've got this dark pink solid paper. I have my what I'm going to use as a texture paste, which is my Nuvo dots, and then my splatters. I'm just sharing with you guys that I did have the recipe wrote down, so I didn't forget anything. So here are what I'm going to be using. It's Nuvo drops in ivory something, I think. I'm looking for it. Ivory seashell. And then I've got my Distress ink in gold. And I pulled out a bunch of elements because I knew that my photos and my ombre paper that I did several years ago were going to take up most of the paper, like most of the, attention, I should say. So I'm just sharing with you guys all the goodies that I picked out for this particular layout. I really wanted to focus on trying to put like colors with, down the ombre. So I'm not really sure. I knew I was going to cut the ombre or rip the ombre in half and be on a double page layout. I just wasn't sure yet. And then when I realized that, it wasn't really too ombre enough, I wanted to fade it into my background. I do have two close to my heart cardstocks in mink that I felt matched this collection really well. So those are going to be my base pages. So I just have my base pages. I used that pink as a solid. I used that for my photo mats, and then I'm just using my tearing ruler to tear my piece in half. I am absolutely loving that ruler. I don't have to guess anymore as to how much of how wonky is my tear going to be when I'm thinking about using it, doing it by hand. Also, too, I've had lots of questions asked about my tearing ruler. I'm sorry, it's shameless plug here, but currently it is only available in a kit because I was testing the waters to see if anybody would even like it. So I will be bringing it to the shop here shortly, I promise. So my first thing that I was thinking about doing was getting the design to ombre across the page. And when I was thinking about my texture paste, I really wanted my my ombre or my faded in design. I wanted it to kind of sparkle. And so that's why I was thinking about this Nuvo paste. But my stencil was too big, to be honest, for the texture paste that I picked out. I'm also being super lazy and only used this brush. So it wasn't very clean and crisp. I was taking my paint and swiping it all the way, I just was being totally messy and lazy with this project here. Almost ran out of paint, by the way, before I could do the project. And then I realized that's not what I wanted to do at all. What I really wanted to do was make it look like this rainbow fades into the background. And so I'm just, okay, how do I salvage this? How do I fix this without making a big old mess? And so I decided to go ahead and put my rainbow piece on top of the paint before it even dries, so it has time to stick to, to the background. And then I just worked it in with my brush. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. However, I thought, you know what, I've got to make it look exactly the same. So I'm going to try to do the same design that I did, even though I didn't like it. I've got my texture paste going on in there. Now this one actually turned out better than the first, even though it is still super messy. I just really wanted it to feel like it was faded into the rainbow design. And I have to say, at first I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how this is going to look, in all honesty. My idea is not coming out. I'm talking to Janet on video conference and just doing this paper, and she's like, oh, just do this, and oh, just do that. And I told her, I said, well, the paint is reactivating the colors from years ago, you guys, years ago. And I really liked that. I really liked how the orange and the yellow were being picked up from from the colors, because then it does really look like the color is fading into the white. So this is my first design that I thought, and I was going to have all the kids lined up in a row, and then the picture of all four of them together, but I didn't really like it. The piece that I picked out was a little too off-white now that I've used white. It's just like, okay, now I have to come up with a new game plan. What do I do? It still doesn't look the way that I want it to look. The ombre still isn't faded in enough. And Janet says, well, you need more. I need more what? Well, you need more ink to make it look like it's faded into the paper again. And I was like, oh. And she says, and go farther into the color. Okay, so I'll go farther into the color, but I didn't want to go too far. And so when I went farther in and I used more paint, I was super happy with that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So I'm going to do it to the other side. I didn't have as much on the other side, but super, super fun. I really did enjoy that suggestion, because now I'm getting where I want to be. The fade look where it looks like the design is going off the page as well wasn't what I was looking for, but it's okay. I'm past that now. I don't even know what colors I used. I know that they were Tim Holtz colors before. I don't even know if they were oxides, you guys. They might have been oxides. I have no idea. It just was years and years and years ago. But anyways, I decided to change up my photos because I did not like them going straight across. I did not want one kid off to the side and three on the other side of the layout. So this is the design that I decided to go for, because of the fact that I've got all four individual photos on one layout and then the group photo on a separate layout. Even though, that's not really my thing. I would have preferred like a 3 and a 2 as far as photos go, but it is okay. So for a dry run, I went ahead and laid out everything. I really didn't want to put a design in the center of the photo because Isaac's head is way up at the top of his photo. So I decided to keep everything over on the left and then have it trailing down the side of my page and have those pink flowers going down into their pink zone, like they blossomed up into the pink zone. And the same with over on the title portion, except for the pink flower up by the bunny rabbit. But I really wanted that bunny rabbit, especially since I don't have a whole lot of Easter photos. And so these were very rare Easter photos. I think I have like maybe every other year, maybe I have an Easter photo, or every other year. I have no idea. But when it came to the butterflies, I definitely liked the fact that this was the part where I liked the fact that the collection had a little bit of dark butterflies, a little bit of bright butterflies, and things like that. And so I was able to read some of the yellows as a little bit orange, and then I've got bright yellow butterflies, and then I've got some that do have an orange tint to them once you put them on the orange. So I really liked that, and I was trying to put the butterflies where they belong. I did use all my pink butterflies, but I think that they would have been too pink for the red that was in my ombre paper. So I'm okay with that. So I've got a bunch of tiny words that basically just are about picking, and I thought that it would I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought that they would work really well with these photos because of the fact that they are picking eggs. They've already picked the eggs. But it's like those were the eggs that they chose to get. And for this specific, it looks like they're at Nene's house. So for this specific Easter egg hunt, at first my kids weren't going to do it because my best friend Janae has grandkids that were uber little at the time. And so my kids were like, no, we'll help the little kids if they want help. And the little kids are like, I don't need no help. They're little. And they were so cute. And so they said, but you can join us. And so there was rules that had to be followed to make sure everybody got, the cool eggs. They were only allowed to pick up so many golden eggs. They were, only allowed to grab so many eggs. That way there was enough eggs for everybody, a certain amount. So go out and grab your 12 eggs. And then when you're done, that's your amount. And so my kids actually kind of hung by and made sure that they were pretending that they couldn't see any of the eggs to make sure the littles all got their 12 eggs first. And then they went and, picked up their eggs. And I thought that was pretty sweet. And the cool part too is that my girlfriend put tokens inside. And so if you got the tokens, you brought them up to the table and you got to pick toys to choose from. So I thought that was pretty cool too. All right, you guys. So that is how my layout turned out. I love the suggestion of adding more paint into the ombre rainbow. And I really did like how this turned out. I love the pop of color. I love that the die cuts weren't too pastel-y for my bright rainbow. I just really do. I really like how this layout turned out. And then, of course, I splattered with the gold Tim Holtz, which worked out really well. All right, you guys. So don't forget to check out the links down below. I have the Facebook group link for Kit Conspiracy, and then I have 2 links for Mixed Media Mayhem, actually 3. The playlist, the Facebook group, and then, of course, the album where you'll find these layouts in the Facebook group if you already are a member of the Facebook group. Also, don't forget to go check out Janet Fritz's channel, who is my cohort in Kit Conspiracy, and see how she used her kit today. For her Mixed Media Mayhem recipe, I am so super excited to see what she came up with. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.